Hello, welcome to another episode of Trauma Junkies Anonymous. I am your host, Jamie Gillespie, and today's podcast I'm super excited about. We are talking about policy actions to improve our triage process in the emergency department. On today's agenda, we are going to talk about the background of our problem, description of our policy proposal, and specific actions to be taken with each of the policy. And make sure you listen to the end because we do have an exciting giveaway for our listeners. So first, let's talk about the definition of a policy. It is a set of guidelines for directing actions and decisions within an organization, specifically a healthcare organization. I have 3 policy proposals I have for today, as our current triage policy does not include any of these new protocols that we are about to propose. The first policy is regarding our fast track. Second policy is regarding point of care testing in the emergency department. And the third policy is the policies and guidelines based on using AI for assisted decision making. Let's first describe this policy proposal for the fast track. The literature does say that the biggest barrier for smoothly implementing fast track areas in the ED is staff shortages. So it's important to have a policy on how we are going to staff this new unit, in addition to clear instructions on what patients should be going to the fast track area and what patients should not. To combat these staffing barriers, first off, we need to present the return of investment to our leadership so we can increase that staffing matrix to hire and train more staff. The staff will be primarily emergency department staff, registered nurses, technicians, and advanced practice providers. We will also need to stock the area with specific equipment and supplies, particularly general wound care, suture kits, wound irrigation, hot and cold packs, and basic labs. And as we implement this, we will be continuously getting staff feedback and changing and evaluating and adjusting these policies as appropriate. The second policy proposal is for our implementation of the point of care testing. Here's an example. This is an iStat machine. I am not endorse or condone any specific brands. This is just one that's commonly used. The same criteria really can be used for any specific brand. Specifically in this policy, we need to have clear training requirements. Who is able to use this piece of equipment and how often do we need to do training, procedures for quality care, quality testing and recalibration, and of course, policy to need to confirm all results with the main lab. Specific actions that we need to take with this policy, part of it is going to be to mitigate costs. That's always a big barrier with any new technology. There's going to be the cost of the initial purchase of all the equipment. There's a cost of maintenance, cost of training. We need to ensure that the cartridges do not expire. They should be refrigerated, labeled, and sorted for use, so the oldest ones are always used first. We never want to waste any precious equipment like this. And then training. We need to have annual training modules as well as witness demonstration of proper handling of the cartridges, proper use of the machines, witness and scored graded by a super user. It is essential that these machines are calibrated every day with the quality control product, just a drip of a couple different vials, and that is done every day. This machine actually locks out in 24 hours if those quality control tests are not run. And the last policy I need to propose is the policy for implementing AI assistance in triage. We need to have very straightforward guidelines for safe data handling, confidentiality. We need to have liability bylaws, calibration requirements, and of course what to do on the rare occasion that we do get erroneous results from this machine. And there are quite a few actions that do need to be taken within this AI policy. Although AI is shown to meet or exceed human expectations and performance, make better decision making with less information, inevitably it will make a mistake, and we need to have policies on what to do when that happens. Who's liable? Is it, the machine can't be liable. Is it the doctor? Is it the developers? We need to make sure we involve the legal team and ethics committee to make sure that we are doing the right thing. We will consult with information technology to make sure data breaches are being prevented, as well as security. We should make sure that the data is encrypted. We should adhere to the HIPAA and high-tech guidelines, make sure we have regular security audits at least every week, anonymize data, and decentralize sensitive data when possible. One thing to always keep in mind with these machine learnings is that it is very important to recalibrate the algorithms and make sure there's no biases that are forming, to make sure for fair and just non-bias decisions are coming out of the machine. We also need to make sure that our point of care testing is interoperable with the system, because that can really make a big difference in making sure that decisions are being made accurately into the algorithm. System errors should always be reported to the authorities immediately. Any software should be audited and calibrated regularly by everybody. And also, too, we need to make sure that our providers and nurses always need to justify the decisions based on the accepted standards of care, and never rely too much on machines, as in, the machine knows best, so let's go with it. We always need to make sure we're being safe and doing what's right. It's also important to be transparent with our patients that we are using AI in some of our decision making to make sure that people have consent, of course, with any technology. So those are the 3 interventions that we need new policies for, all 3 of them. Okay, who is still with me? Do you love freebies? Too many coffee mugs? Well, we got the answer for you. Gift cards. Quiz time. What are the 3 interventions that we talked about that are in need of policy change? Email me your answers by tomorrow at 5 p.m. I will select 5 random winners to win $10 gift card to our online shop. Thank you for listening, and right now I will leave it open to questions from our audience. Thank you again so much for listening, and see you next week.